Hi, this is my proposed research design to see which drug will work better in the treatment of schizophrenia. First, I will discuss non-experimental versus experimental research designs. For non-experimental designs, the goal is to describe and understand thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. The goal for experimental designs is to explain thoughts, feelings, and behaviors and to make casual statements. For a non-experimental design, there is not a controlled setting, but in experimental design, there is a controlled setting. Non-experimental designs predict one variable based on another, and in experimental designs, it has an independent variable. The categories for non-experimental design is descriptive and correlation, and the category for experimental designs is true and quasi-experimental. The proposed studies to determine whether or not the new drug is more effective than the existing drug. The purpose is to explain how the independent variables affect the dependent variables. The appropriate research design for this is experimental because the environment will be controlled. The research will have both experimental and control groups, and a conclusion can be drawn from the results of this research. For my method, there will be 150 participants, 75 in the experimental group and 75 in the control group. The participants must have been diagnosed with schizophrenia within the last 5 years. They must have been taking prescribed medication consistently for the last year, and their ages must be from 18 to 25 years. The participants will be recruited from a local doctor's office. I will present the research design to the doctors, and if it's accepted, they will help out with the recruiting process. For my procedure, the two groups will be experimental and controlled. Experimental will be the one with the new drug, and controlled will be their current drug. To collect the data, each participant will go to weekly meetings with a counselor to discuss how the drugs seem to be working, how they are feeling, and what changes they are experiencing, if any. It is then recorded by the counselor. For data analysis, the test being used will be the t-test to compare the difference in the two group means. When this research is finished, we will be able to compare the results and see if the new drug is working better than the old or if the old one works better than the new one, and we will see which one can then be sold.